Welcome to Man in America. I'm your host, Seth Holhouse. As dark and scary as the world seems right now, there's a silver lining to a lot of what's happening. And the silver lining is the fact that a lot of folks around the world are waking up and realizing that these giant monolithic systems that have been ruling us for a very long time, the big education, big pharma, big tech, big government, that people are now understanding, and you could almost thank COVID in a lot of ways for this, that these systems aren't actually out to help us. And in fact, oftentimes you find they're out to harm us. Now, one of the biggest realizations of this lately has been the public finally accepting, and the media and the doctors and scientists finally accepting the fact that fluoride is in fact a poison and it's bad for us. So after years of telling us that your kids got to have fluoride, make sure fluoride's in your toothpaste, it's good for cavities, and it's not bad, but in small doses it's not bad, but if you eat the whole thing of toothpaste, maybe it'll kill you. But they've been telling us this for so long, and there's been all kinds of folks that say, look, this is poison, and yeah, maybe it's not bad in a single tiny dose, but if you're brushing your teeth with it every day for decades, maybe it's going to have a bad effect. And so but what's kind of amazing about this, though, is that while we're seeing the corruption and evil in these systems, there's this parallel economy that's being built by patriotic, God-loving entrepreneurs. And they're creating solutions and ideas and businesses that allow people to exit this beast system. So one of the folks that's at the forefront of this movement is Larry Oberheu, who is the founder of and CEO of Freshmouth. And so what it is it's actually a uniquely formulated toothpaste and other mouth care products that bring in silver and the healing power of silver, which is actually shocking a lot of dentists who are seeing. It's like, wait, your gums are growing back? They're like, we've never seen it before. Like once your gums start receding, they don't grow back, but actually he's finding that it's happening. And so this is just one of many examples, though, of, again, patriotic entrepreneurs that are figuring out solutions that they can bring to people that, in my opinion, are amazing because it's helping us to escape this evil system that's poisoning us. At the same time, it's helping us to build what I think is the future of humankind. It's the products and the businesses that are not owned by giant corporations and big banks, but by individual entrepreneurs that want to create successful products that help people truly keep healthy. So, folks, I think you're going to enjoy this interview with Larry, so please enjoy. Are you looking to do something better for your health? Look no further than Kimchi One from Brightcore Nutrition. Kimchi One packs all the fermented nutrition of kimchi in convenient capsules, arming your gut with over 900 unique strains of probiotics, supporting gut flora and digestion. I highly recommend this product because all health starts in the gut. So, putting the right fermented superfood in your gut improves every aspect of your health: your skin, your hair, your mental performance, even your beard. Kimchi has even shown to reduce your risk of obesity and promote smaller waistlines. Kimchi One is all natural, made in the USA, and non-GMO. Today, you can get an exclusive offer just for my viewers, 25% off with the code MANINAmerica by going to mybrightcore.com/MANINAmerica, or call my friends at Brightcore for up to 50% off your order and free shipping. Give them a call now at 888-575-6488, and their educated staff will make sure that Kimchi One is right for you. Again, that's 888-575-6488 with promo code MANINAmerica. Mr. Larry Oberhue, it's great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Great, Seth. It's great to be here. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So it's interesting because what I'm seeing is, I'm more of an entrepreneur as you are, and I'm looking at a lot of the shifts in the market and what's happening, especially here in America. And what I see is this massive, really kind of transfer of people that are moving from the big systems, right? The big education, big pharma, big media, big tech, everything. And they're moving to this, I call it a parallel economy that's being built by people that have now understood that these big systems were co-opted or, from the very inception, even created, and now are being used as tools to realistically enslave and depopulate the world, as wild as it seems, right?
100%.
And
Yeah.
so what's amazing to me then, what gives me so much hope is that amidst this realization, there's all these people that are saying, look, well, I can figure out some solutions that are not going to kill you, right? Like I can, like, yourself, for instance, I'm looking forward to digging into mouth, healthcare with the mouth and fluoride. And like fluoride is one of the biggest examples of that, where, it's like as a kid, it's like, even, like, gosh, I think it was 2 years ago, I was at a dentist, in a different region. We were living with my wife, and the dentist is like, it was a, very kind of like good, positive healthcare experience, but she's like, "Oh, like, well, fluoride's really good for you." And my wife was like, "We're done. Like, I'm not going to this dentist anymore."
We're
Right?
finished.
Like that tells you everything you need to know, right?
Oh yeah.
So but what's exciting though is that there's this massive kind of movement of people that are seeing these opportunities and they're filling them. They're creating products, like Jeff Adams, right? Behind Mycronic Silver, right? Who's
Right.
realize that, wow, okay, actually the antibiotics that they're trying to sell us were originally supposed to be silver. Then Rockefeller came in, they realized he couldn't patent
Yeah.
silver because it was a currency and a metal. So then they figured out how to then have their own lab made antibiotics, which then replaced silver. But the antibiotics have their own issues, of course. They kill our gut bacteria, good and bad. And so he did an interview with me, and it was really, really good. And people loved the interview because it was like, oh, there's actually there's other products out there and other solutions. And so I love that story. So anyway, I'll let you talk a little bit because I want to hear your story. So from my understanding of, kind of chatting before we started recording, you had a very successful insurance company. Obamacare basically destroyed that overnight. And
Yeah.
you've found kind of through this journey that you've, kind of talked about how God has guided you to this journey. So walk us through a little bit of what you explained to me now about how you went from insurance to mouth care, right? It's
So,
fascinating.
right. Yeah, a lot of people like, how did you make that jump, right? But actually, I mean, it was pretty. If you follow it, it was kind of just made sense. I mean, the transition. I mean, I ran a very successful health agency, about 4,000 agents nationally. We did a huge amount of business. I mean, insurance had been up until that point just amazing for me. It was life transforming. I mean, I loved the insurance business. We did really well at it. And we were fortunate enough, we did enough business. The insurance companies actually would work with us, make products for us. We had actually specially designed products. So I was like kind of one of those geeks. I actually read insurance policies. So that I thought that was fun. It's not really, but so I came accustomed to like different exclusions and limitations and policies, and we try to make them better. And that was a big part of our selling point. Hey, ours is better because of this, and yours is not because of this. A lot of people don't realize what's in their policy until they get sick. That's kind of the wrong time to find out, because then you find out that, geez, a lot of stuff isn't covered. So that's the bad side of the insurance company business, and got the whole CEO of United Healthcare thing going on. That kind of ties into a lot of that stuff, and I think a lot more will come out. But anyway, so they had very successful, did really well at it. But Obamacare started coming, looming into and talking about it a lot. And I said, this is something that would really kill us if this happens. So, but a lot of us in the industry really didn't think it would, because it's such a huge part of our GDP. I mean, insurance makes up a really big part of that. And to mess with it just would not make sense. But of course, nothing he did made sense. So yeah, of course he did that. So, but a little bit of foresight, we got into ancillary and supplemental insurance products, dental being a big one. We actually have our own dental insurance plan. We put that together, and then that kind of, after Obamacare completely destroyed our health business, and the dental plan became kind of our sole source of income, which wasn't quite where we wanted it to be at that point. But hey, we struggled on and made it work. But I mean, after that, we had some successes here and there, and it was about 2011 is when that actually happened. But throughout the years, we had a couple successes, but we kept getting knocked down. The government really started cracking down on a lot of stuff. They did not want people making money in the insurance business. So, I decided that we needed to really kind of get something that was not in insurance, so that we, didn't get destroyed depending on politically where everything stood. That's not a good thing to base all your, life and income off of. So we wanted to get in something outside of it. So the dental was doing pretty good. So we decided to get something involved in dental. So we're looking at doing maybe a preventative dental program, which we looked, and there was really nothing out there. So I thought, well, this is great. This is a great space. It kind of correlates with what we're doing. So, we just actually set out to, as I said, as we talked a little bit before, I mean, this was actually just kind of, I wanted to market to insurance companies. Since we had that relationship, we kind of went to them and said, hey, if we put this together and we give you something that's very, proactive and helps preventative care for dental, is that something you can get behind and just market it to all the members? And they said, yeah, so I was like, wow, this is really going to be great. So did start doing a lot of research, and that's actually where we hit fluoride. Up until that point, this was probably late 2018. Right when it hit that point, it was like, my God, how this fluoride is this? I mean, I had no idea. I mean, here I thought it was great for it. My dentist told me it was great for me, so it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I believe that? So, we started checking it out, and I was like, no, this is awful. We did about 3 months of research, and then really at that point figured out that there's no question about it in my mind. It was 100% intentional. They did this to us, and fluoride is one of the most toxic substances known to man. People don't even realize that it is more deadly than cyanide. So that's why it's got to be reduced to such a level, 0.07 parts per million, so that it won't kill you instantly. Less than a gram will kill a full-size human being immediately. And this is what we use in our toothpaste and put in our water and everything else. So when we got to that, I was like, well, we're not using that stuff. So then we started researching, all natural stuff and said, well, this will be an easy pivot. But then realized that that's actually not good for us either. Now it's not poison, so that's healthier, I mean, so that's really good. And I'm not knocking natural toothpaste out there. A lot of people are trying to transition and get away from fluoride, which is fantastic. But about 45% of people that move away from fluoride got to go back. That's a fact. Statistically, you get more cavities with an all natural toothpaste. And, if anything, it gives the dentist more fuel for fire, because then he can say, I told you so, need to go back to fluoride. So this just makes them more right in their mind. And, they're indoctrinated and the stuff's jammed down their throats from, day one. But it's not that it's better. It's that the all natural stuff really just doesn't kill that bacteria that we need to purge from our mouth. Because we do have bad stuff in there that need to be killed. And the all natural stuff just does a really bad job of it. Now, fluoride.
I want to jump in really quickly, just because you mentioned indoctrinated. It just hit me. It's like, oh, these doctors are indoctrinated, right? Like,
It's very true. Yeah.
But also, just a point I want to mention this really quickly, that when you mentioned, fluoride, and it's funny because this same argument is used across so many different areas where they say, okay, well, yes, it is poisonous and deadly, but we're giving you so little of it that it's not going to kill you. It's like, yeah, you're right. Like, if you eat a tube of toothpaste, you're not going to die instantly. But what happens if you brush your teeth with that same toothpaste for, for your whole life? It's also funny because you see these warnings on the back of toothpaste. It says, warning, do not consume, right? It's like, do not eat.
Right, yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I consume almost a whole thing of toothpaste throughout the process of brushing my teeth with it, right? I mean, obviously you're brushing and you're rinsing and spitting out, but your mouth absorbs anything you put into it, as your skin does.
Most part, yeah.
Say it's the same argument I see with sunscreen. It's like, well, these particular substances are known to cause cancer, but they're in so little parts, or mercury in the shots. It's like, well, yes, in high doses, mercury is going to kill you, but in a low dose, it's okay. It's the same thing but also, it's this idea of, like, with for instance, you mentioned fluoride, that you're saying, okay, fluoride does have some effect in preventing cavities. And so when people go to a natural toothpaste, you say that, almost half, 1 in 2 people will end up returning to fluoride because the natural toothpaste can't, fix your teeth. And so what it does is, you're right, it proves their point. See, fluoride is good for your teeth. But the thing is that they've already hidden, and they're not telling you about the other things that can actually prevent your cavities that won't kill you. Right. So anyway, I just wanted to throw those points in there because I'm having these little light bulb moments going off as you're talking. Sure. So I'll let you continue, though.
Yeah, no problem. And a lot of people, like, going, just touching on that a little bit. A lot of people are waking up to a lot of this stuff, as we know. In the medical field, that's a big part. A lot of people are like, hey, something ain't right with this stuff. And kind of turning their back. You got doctors turning their back on American Dental or Medical Association and saying, hey, we're not actually helping people. This stuff is not good for us. So there's this big movement, but people don't realize that, the American Dental Association is owned by the Rockefellers as well. So they didn't just stop at the medical, they went into the dental as well. So they're being attacked just like it. They're being indoctrinated just like the doctors are. Same old. It's the same, game plan. And our mouth is pretty important. It's kind of the epicenter of health. So if they mess that up, our teeth are interconnected to every single part of our body. So if you have issues in your mouth, it transforms into our body, and you will get sick and have chronic disorders caused, by mouth. So it's pretty important. But to really use something. So yeah, I mean, like we're getting back to the fluoride. Yeah, it does. And I even hesitate really saying that it actually does help, because I'm not saying it helps. It does kill the bad bacteria. Now it'll kill you too. And incidentally, that on the back of the toothpaste, it's got the poison control number, 800 number. If you ingest more than a pea size, you're to call them, you could die. And actually, people have actually, mostly kids have actually died from brushing their teeth. I mean, that's a real thing. Now it's rare, but if they're eating, kids swallow it. They'll swallow that stuff. It is not good. You will die. Toothpaste has about 1,000 times the safe legal limit of fluoride that's in our water, 0.07. The toothpaste is 1,000 times more stronger. So that is not only swallowing is bad, but also sublingual. You're right. Our mouth absorbs that stuff. So not good. No matter what, that is not helping us. But it does purge those bacteria. So fluoride can win in a short jaunt, but it's actually detrimental, and it's actually harming us, and it builds up in our body. Our bodies don't purge it. Our bones and our teeth absorb it. And an extended use of it, that's what they call teeth fluorosis or bone fluorosis. Teeth fluorosis, the number one cause of tooth decay in America is fluorosis. That's literally caused by fluoride. That's it. So extended use actually makes your teeth fall apart. And bone fluorosis is there's another name for that. It's called arthritis, osteopenia, osteoarthritis. So all this joint pain that we have is literally caused by fluoride. So that gets in our joints, and we're told it's old age. It's not really. It's actually poison, because our bones have absorbed all this toxic material in our body.
This is fluorosis, right?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So you get the spotting. And a lot of people, good point here too, is a lot of people think that fluoride whitens your teeth. This is what fluoride does. It darkens your teeth. You get dark patches and blotchy spots on our teeth. And that is actually, that eventually that will actually make your teeth fall apart. So this is what fluoride does for you. It is not good.
It's crazy. It's even called dental fluorosis, right? Like, what is fluorosis? It's like the symptom of fluoride. It's crazy.
That is it right there. Now, a dentist will say, it's only if you had too much. Well, my next question to dentists is, how much have you had today? And then they look at me like you're stupid. Like, what kind of question is that? And I'm like, well, it's a really good one, because you just said only if you have too much. So what's the proper, and how much have you had? We should probably actually kind of monitor that, but we don't, I mean, the more water you drink is supposed to be really healthy for us. That's good. But guess what? If you're ingesting fluoride, not so good, because you're getting a lot more fluoride than somebody that doesn't consume water, which is supposed to be healthy for us. But if you're consuming fluorinated water, it's not. And a lot of people think, hey, I filter my water. I buy bottled water. Yeah, guess what? All got fluoride. Bottled water, there's only a couple that I know of that absolutely do not have fluoride in them. The rest of them do. 98% of water bottles on the market have fluoride in them. And in filtration, none of them take out fluoride, or hardly any. There's only two ways to get fluoride out of water. That's reverse osmosis and distillation. So if you're not using those, if you're using a Berkey, not so much. They're in a class action lawsuit because they don't remove fluoride like they say they do.
We use a Berkey, but we're on well water. So, we
helps.
Run our well water through the Berkey, and I feel pretty. And we have a water distiller that we use. We distill water as well, to drink distilled water. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, is that even before, in our previous home that we were in, we were on city water, and it was like, it smelled like a swimming pool. You take a bath, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. So we ended up digging a well. It was expensive. It was like almost $15,000 to dig a well, to dig a 200-foot well in our yard and hook up to water. But that was, one of the investments that we made in our health at that point. Now, thankfully, the house we bought earlier this year, we're out in the country. We're on 7 acres surrounded by forest, and we're on well water. It's like a 200-foot well here as well. So I feel better about that. But there's a lot of people, though, that are living, just in the suburbs, and they can't drill a well, right? and there's no other
Exactly.
water
Yeah.
source except for that. And if you collect rainwater, well, yeah, have fun with the rainwater. You see what they're spraying in the skies. It's like, yeah, if you want to,
Well, right. Yeah. Then we have chemtrails, everything else, and
oh
well, that
man, yeah,
even comes into effect with the wells too. So even well water. I mean, in a lot of cases it could be better, but we have a lot of that seepage, and depending
of
on where you're at
course.
and stuff, depending on where you're at in accordance to the filtration, a lot of that water is fed through some of the other areas. So you still might have fluoride. So
Or
it's
if you're in a
always good to have
farming
it
region, you
tested.
got, your well water's gonna have
Yeah.
glyphosate in it, right? So
Well, right. Yeah, there you go. So same there. So we still need to, even the well waters, you kind of make sure, always have them tested to make sure what's in it, because
yeah,
it could still be some bad stuff. So it's just, unfortunately, we've been poisoned everywhere. It's in our food, it's in the air, it's in our water. I mean, everything,
on the
you
TV.
turn around everywhere it is, right? Just being constantly. It's amazing how long we live. To be honest.
It
How
is.
do we do that? I don't
It
know.
is. So sorry, I kind of sidetracked you a little bit because so on your storyline, you basically you came up with this solution. Okay, hey, you have access to all these, through the insurance. You've got access to these huge network of people, and you're thinking, okay, if I can create a preventative dental product, you can then leverage your connections within the insurance companies to have this massive distribution. So to me, it's a it's kind of like instant money, right? From the entrepreneurial
No brainer,
perspective,
right?
right?
For sure.
And so
That was
what
my thought.
happened? Okay, so what did you figure out as a solution to this, and then walk us through what happens when what next?
So yeah, so it's I really didn't start out to make toothpaste. That wasn't our intention, but it's kind of right where we led, because after, like I said, we checked out the all natural, the fluoride and everything else. It was just kind of like, well, really not a lot out there. So we started really researching what's good, what's not, and kind of as I said, just everything just started falling into place. And even at the time, didn't even realize it, but we quickly looked at silver, as an antibacterial, and then yeah, hired a lab to kind of formulate and stuff. And it just, yeah, the guy brought up silver and then asked us what type of silver, which I didn't even know the different types, but nano sounded cool, so we went with nano. And but it turned out that nano silver's actually got a lot of clinical backing on it. So there's a lot of scientific studies on nano silver right now. And that actually helped to feed into our whole storyline and everything, because they're doing a lot of research on nano silver, because nano silver actually regrows our teeth, which is amazing. Nothing really has ever been able to do that before. And so it actually can heal cavities naturally, takes away teeth sensitivity, heals gum tissue regeneration. Now, these are two things that your dentist said that's not possible. But nano silver literally proven that it'll do it. And we've actually had clients that have had cavities and cracks in their teeth heal over in about 4 to 6 weeks. Takes away the sensitivity, gum regeneration, myself as well. So it is real time, like happening with people. So it is completely possible, but they're indoctrinated that it can't and it won't. But yeah, so we had phenomenal results with it. When we went to the insurance company, we can actually give them real scientific backing. And look, this works, and they said it's amazing. We'll definitely do it. We're all in. Then you got to do is go back and put fluoride in it. So it's like, well, let me back up the slide. You missed that one. We talked about that in the very beginning. But no, they were serious. They wouldn't do it. They were like, no, if you put fluoride, well, we'll definitely back it. And he goes, you could even do a fluoride line and a non-fluoride line. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. It's that. I'm like, I'll just take it out on the road. So that's what we did. So
So you turned
me and
down,
partners.
potentially a multi-million-dollar deal because
Yep.
they wanted you to still conform to this Rockefeller system, which is
Right.
fundamentally poison people, make them sick, give them the medication, which is also the poison, get them more sick, give them more medication, more poison until they die, and you've made millions of dollars off every single person that you do that to. And so that
Right.
was a kind of a moral dilemma. Well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just such an easy choice for you. But at that point, it was like, okay, in one hand is millions of dollars, and the other
Yep.
hand is your conscience and your integrity.
Right, and that's really, it was a no brainer. I mean, I didn't even give it a second thought. I just, well, we'll take it out of the road. I can do it myself. It doesn't matter. So I didn't need them. Of course, they would have made things way easier for me, like really big time. I mean, because we started out. I told you we started out doing farmers markets. We literally went to farmers markets, and people come up and say, tomatoes, corn, toothpaste.
The
What the hell are
silver
you guys doing here?
toothpaste.
So it was, yeah, in the very beginning, pretty humble beginnings, and we were just selling toothpaste at farmers markets. Had to get up, 5 o'clock in the morning, travel to get to these things because they're always in the morning. And I we literally self-funded. So I mean, all my money was in toothpaste. And I said, if we don't sell this stuff, I'm dead. We're done.
But you
So
have healthy
you
teeth at
know,
least.
yeah, but I exactly. So we're out there pedaling it, and then those shows are real cheap. But then we started getting into some other more expensive shows, which I was really hesitant because we didn't have the money. I needed to build up. And but we started like getting into the bigger shows. As I told you, we started getting involved in the Patriot movement and the Truthers, and did the Reawakening tour, the Reckoning, and Freedom Fighters. All this stuff, we really got a good presence in there, and we just did phenomenal. That really boosted us up and really took off. I mentioned Jeff. We know him. I've met him. I travel with him actually. We do a lot of the same shows because he does silver. Jeff's more silver is medicinally for the body, which is amazing for our bodies. I'm all about oral care, so we're focused on the mouth, so we kind of get along good because we don't step on each other's toes there. Um, but yeah, the shows have been great to us. I mean, there's a lot of great people in the movement and everything that we met. So just we started doing those shows and just kind of just went from there and just kind of blew up on it. So we're still not doing as well as we would have if we would have went with the insurance company, but we're getting there. Yeah, like you said, it was kind of a no-brainer. There's no way that I would, that I could do it. So, we figured, well, we'll just take it out on the road and we'll make it happen ourselves. So, but we've been and had phenomenal results with it. Like I said, the silver just does such an amazing job in our mouth. It was almost like it was meant to be. Silver kills all bacteria, germs, viruses, and fungus on contact. So it's the fastest killer bacteria known to man, but it does not harm good bacteria in our body, which is super unique. So the silver, initially, I mean, it just destroys all the bad bacteria, not the good. So it gives you a cleaner, fresher feel than really any other toothpaste on the market because our mouth doesn't really ever experience that because that's not what we're brought up with. So, and I don't know really of anything else that actually does that. So it really gives you a fresh feel. With that, it creates a super healthy mouth biome, a very, very pH balanced saliva, which, believe it or not, your saliva does a lot of damage because it's mostly acidic because of our diets, our food, and the toothpaste and the fluoride. That's all causes a lot of acidity, which destroys our teeth and gum tissue, all kinds of stuff. So the first thing the silver does is reverse all that. It gives you a really healthy, balanced pH mouth, really healthy saliva, which in itself is super important and actually will help your body heal because our bodies are capable of healing itself for almost anything if given the right circumstance and environment. Silver helps create that environment first and foremost, but silver is a natural healer. So in the hospitals, we won't use silver for antibacterial. Actually, they're not allowed to. You get a lot of trouble for it if you actually do. There's been nurses that have treated people with silver and have actually gotten fired. So because it does kill all these bacteria, and if we used it in that fashion, it would be amazing because bacteria or the antibiotics cause not only destroys everything and it causes problems like in women, yeast infections and things like that. Because when we're destroying our good, we're just hoping the good stuff grows back faster. It doesn't. It's like weeds in a garden grows faster. So it actually causes a bigger problem later on where the silver doesn't do that and it doesn't kill with the bacteria is not able to become resistant to it like it is with antibiotics. So like MRSA is a good example because MRSA is not curable. They don't have anything to kill it. We don't have another antibiotic strong enough to kill it, but silver does. So thousands of people, I think they said something like 6,000 people a year die from MRSA. They don't have to. If they just treated them with silver, it kills it. Silver kills all medication-driven bacteria. So because silver kills without resistance. So it's really amazing for our body. And first and foremost, as you're brushing, you do get that in your body. So as you're brushing your teeth, that'll absorb into your blood and give you a boost of immunity. Silver boosts your immune system more than vitamin C. It's an essential mineral. A lot of people don't get that. It's a metal, and people are like, oh, it's a metal, it's bad, And for the most part, we don't, metals in our bodies, mercury, lead, things like that are bad. But silver's a mineral, it's a noble metal. So it's a metal and a mineral. And it actually, our bodies require the silver. We used to get it from plants and farming and stuff, but everything's overprocessed, manufactured now, and designed to have less minerals in it, so we don't get those minerals. So supplementation is a big part of that. And if you're taking it, your body builds up a stronger immune system, helps kill viruses and all that stuff. So it's super beneficial in that form as well. But like I said, helps create that healthy mouth biome. But where we do use silver in hospitals and in the medical field is healing and wound care. Silver heals faster than anything.
What's the most important part of getting my family to share a healthy drink with me? Well, to get them all on board, it's got to be delicious. And that is Vinetastic. Amazing to me is it's made with no sugars, no calories, no carbs, and no artificial sweeteners. So, Vinetastic blends LeBlue's ultra pure fractional vapor compression distilled bottled water with Mighty Muscadine's liquid extract that contributes approximately 300 parts per million of antioxidant polyphenols in every single bottle. And that is a great way to make America healthy again. So if you or someone you know is pre-diabetic or diabetic or just enjoys a delicious alternative to artificial or sugary drinks, try the new Vinetastic. It's fantastic. It's easily ordered at vinetastic.com. So do your research and fill your fridge with Vinetastic. It's amazing what nature can provide without artificial flavoring. In two delicious flavors, blueberry, cherry pomegranate, and pineapple mango. Love them both. Free shipping and a discounted price online when you use the promo code Seth. So again, it's Seth at vinetastic.com for your health, for your body, for your life.
So it actually, on burn victims, we use silver nitrate. It literally regrows the skin. So it has regenerative properties as well. So those properties kick in the toothpaste as well. So not only are we creating the right environment for our bodies to heal, but the silver aids it. So there's where in the nanoparticles penetrate the interior of our teeth, there's where the generation of enamel comes from. So it actually helps to regrow that enamel gum tissue. And we're the only product on the market that can go below gum line. Right now, we got to cut your gums open. That's a gingivitis. That's a horrible surgery. Our toothpaste actually goes below gum every day because the nanoparticles will go below inside the gum tissue. So it kills below gum. Silver kills gingivitis on contact. Regular use of it, gingivitis will be stopped in its tracks and can't grow. So, really super beneficial. And like your plaque and tartar buildup, that's caused by bacteria also. Silver kills all three bacteria that cause that. So plaque and tartar can't stick to your teeth if you use it consistently. So, like everybody gets plaque and tartar buildup. That's one of the main reasons you go to the dentist. They scrape that stuff off, and probably, in my opinion, the worst part of it. And all of us do, after about 6 months, you get a lot of plaque buildup, especially behind the teeth. That was another thing that disappeared right away. I mean, yeah, my dentist after, a year, I waited a year to go to the dentist during COVID and stuff, but I had no plaque. So he was like, well, that's, it's really great, which I always used to. And now it's like, I never have plaque anymore. So, cause that's all I use. So it helps dissolve plaque and tartar and prevent it from growing again. So it just really creates overall just a really fantastic, mouth biome and healthy, get your mouth super healthy there. So,
Which is interesting because there's a lot of focus on your gut health, right? And a lot of people are now understanding that even autism is oftentimes tied to gut health, right? Because there's so
yes,
much tied to the bacteria in our gut, but it's so easy for people to overlook the fact that our gut health starts here. Actually, that your
right.
mouth is the beginning of your digestive system, and even the saliva that
Absolutely.
you secrete. Like the Pavlov's dog, right? They hear the bell
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they start salivating because your body is like, okay, like if I'm hungry and I walk in the kitchen and there's a cheeseburger sitting there my wife makes sitting on the table, which I'm never surprised with a cheeseburger, but it'd be nice if I was
Right.
sometimes. But go in there, or she's cooking something really nice and I smell a stew. My body's already starting to like kind of warm up the digestive system with the saliva coming out and everything. But it's interesting that it's so easy to overlook that and take we do a lot of kind of probiotic type stuff. We drink kefir, we drink raw
Right.
milk. We do a lot of stuff. Fermented foods to help build up that strong gut. And of course, we don't use fluoride toothpaste. We use other kinds of natural toothpaste and everything. But I've never come across silver. But with the knowledge I know, so you're probably familiar with Mike Adams. So we use a lot of Mike Adams
Oh yeah.
products, and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have he has a colloidal silver kind of gel
Yes.
that
Yeah.
if I've got a cut or a burn, or say I grab the cast iron pan without thinking about it and burn my thumb, that silver on there is just perfect. And
Oh yeah.
growing up, it was always Neosporin, right? As a kid, it was like, oh,
Yeah.
we'll put some Neosporin on it, right? That was just the household thing. But it makes sense though that silver, and also looking at the role of the mouth and also because like I really struggle with mouth care. I I brush daily and I use healthier toothpastes, right? But I'm crappy at flossing. Like I'm never flossing as much as I should, and I've got that plaque buildup, and so I'll clean it myself. I've got little dental tools. I'll just go in there and just scrape it every once in a
Scrape it.
while. But when you look back in the past, or if you look into like kind of Weston Price and some of the research they've done
Yep.
on mouth care and everything, it's all it's like a person living in the modern world. If you didn't brush your teeth daily, by the time you're 30, your teeth are falling out. Yet you have
Right.
these people that have never brushed their teeth, and they obviously eat healthy, but they've got beautifully healthy teeth and gums and bone structure and everything. But then there's also the other
Yep.
thing with the wisdom teeth, right? Because my wisdom teeth are still in, and I've intentionally, especially
Wow,
as an
that's
adult,
rare.
I've kept them in because the more research I've done, it shows you that, oh yeah, your wisdom teeth, the nerves connect to like very important parts of your body, and there's a reason why they're
They
called
do,
your
yeah.
wisdom teeth. And so, like it's like tonsils, same thing. It's like
Right.
the modern medical system. It's like their solution is to cut it out. It's like, well, we don't
Let's
quite
get it out of
understand this, and it causes some issues, so we're just going to cut it out of your body, and that's maybe better, right? But it never
Perfect. Yeah,
is.
yeah. Because evolution, we don't need them anymore, right?
Yeah.
We've evolved past. We don't need that stuff. So they even say that the pain of the wisdom teeth is important to our spiritual side, kind of opening some of that stuff up. So
Wow, interesting.
the pain is also an important part of that. So,
Incredible.
so yeah, yeah,
And so, well, so like I'm sold on this, right? So like my next kind of question is, okay, how do I get some of this silver toothpaste? Because I'm going to be, my next conversation is going to talking to my wife. Okay, hey, you know what? We're done with this other toothpaste. I'm getting silver toothpaste now. This is going to be it. So, I know we set up a website that we've got here that Seth Fresh Mouth. So that's to make it easy for people to get there. Because also I think you've worked in free shipping and a few perks like that. So Fresh Seth Mouth. Sorry. Seth Fresh Mouth. Seth Fresh Mouth. I'll put that link in the
.com.
description. But that brings you here. So tell us, like, so what is the Fresh Mouth Club? If someone wants to get some toothpaste, walk us through how that works.
So we're a direct to consumer program. So we're not in retail and stuff like that right now. So we're in some smaller boutiques and some holistic dentists and stuff carry our product, and some periodontists because of the gum issues, because we're really good with treating gum. Actually, really good. It takes away inflamed gums, sensitive gums, bleeding gums almost immediately. So you'll notice a huge difference in that. And periodontists focus on gum, and we're just amazing with it. So if you got gum issues, and it really helps that pretty quickly. But so we have a club. Basically, you can buy all of our products individually. There's that's not a problem. Like I said, we set you up with free shipping for your clients and stuff. But the club allows you to we do a subscription base, and we'll deliver it for you once a month or every other month or every 3 months. We even have a 6-week option coming up, so we try to kind of cover all the bases there, and we'll modify it for you. But if you do the club, we give it to you cheaper, so we discount everything out, and we give you free shipping all the time if you're in the club. But individual products are we charge shipping, but like I said, we took it off for you guys. But our kits are kind of designed to give you everything you need. So we give you our toothpaste, a toothbrush, a mouth rinse, a floss, and for your first order, we give you a 2-minute timer. You got to have proper brushing time there. 2 minutes to brush. 2 minutes is also the amount of time it takes for silver to absorb in your system. So it's kind of a two-part program there, but you should brush your teeth a little bit longer. People don't realize how filthy our toothbrush is. It's one of the filthiest things in our mouth,
I was just
or
reading this
in our
actually
house.
as I was
Yeah.
looking at saying that
Yeah,
studies have
literally
shown that
is the filthiest thing in our house.
over
Yeah.
80% of all toothbrushes have fecal matter, right? Which is, we all know what that is. So
That's a real thing, yeah. But above and all jokes aside, that's probably one of the tamest bacteria that's on it. I mean, our toothbrush houses about 100 million strands of bacteria on a normal basis, and we just stick it in our mouth every day, not even thinking about it. So that's actually not good, and they actually can make us sick on a regular basis. Sore throats, canker sores, intestinal issues are super common. We just don't realize it, keep using it, and keep infecting ourselves. But they did a recent study: 30% of heart disease patients actually can be traced back to a toothbrush. That's actually how toxic they can become. So once every 3 months, forget about that. You should be changing those things every single month. And even the American Dental Association says 3 months, or if it frays. If you're using a toothbrush, after about 3 weeks, it's going to fray. And that causes micro tearing in the gums, which allows bacteria in your body. Because again, teeth are connected to everything. Where it absorbs into can cause havoc, heart disease, strokes, cancer, you name it. I mean, MS actually, the number one cause, I mean, I guess probably get in trouble for saying this, but Weston Price, you brought him up. He was 100% positive that about 80 to 90% of MS patients actually came from root canals and cavitations, infections in our teeth. That's real. And he did the studies. He did over 1,000 people with MS, some that couldn't even walk, had been wheelchair ridden for like 4 or 5 years. After pulling those teeth and cleaning it out, within about 4 to 5 weeks, they were up walking. So completely reversed their condition. So that's actually, how connected we are. And that's why you really want to make sure you take care of your teeth, your mouth, and all that. But yeah, you get that seepage down in there, and can cause some serious chronic, disease, which isn't good. So yeah, replacing them once a month is what we recommend, but we'll do 2 or 3 months, whatever you want. But our kits will give you the toothbrush. You don't got to remember the last time you changed it. We'll just deliver it for you. And like I said, toothbrush, mouthwash, floss, timer. Our mouth rinse, which is right there, the little bottle. We did a concentrate because we're shipping them out and everything. So it's a concentrate. So it's a small bottle, but you'll need about 4 to 5 drops in about an ounce of water. So you just take your water, put about 4 to 5 drops in there. That's what you rinse with. And that's a very high concentration, 100 part per million nanosilver, xylitol, and peppermint, and distilled water. So it's very simple, all natural, not a big deal. Those 4 to 5 drops will bring that down to about a 20 part per million, which is about perfect. Swish around after brushing. I always recommend brush your teeth. Don't spit while swallowing. You don't want to swallow the foam, although if you do, it's not going to hurt you. There's nothing toxic in it, but it'll help absorb faster into your body because you want that silver there too. And then spit after you're done, and then you use your ounce of water and 4 to 5 drops. You should rinse with that. Now, we actually recommend to swallow that. So if you swallow that, nano silver passes digestion. It's one of the few silvers that do. Jeff Silver does too, is micronic, but nano does as well. So when it passes digestion, it gets into your gut. And again, the bad, not the good, promotes a healthy gut as well. So there's some additional, benefits by swallowing, but you can spit too. But the point of the process there is that the silver does a lot of good stuff. You don't necessarily want to swish it out with water and spit the excess down the drain. So that silver actually is an enhancer. Mouthwash as a whole really isn't great for us. Ours isn't really mouthwash. It's more of a rinse because you're getting that silver in there. And it helps impregnate. And then, like I said, you're not rinsing it away. You're kind of putting more in. And then that helps adhere. I always tell people you want to wait about 10 to 15 minutes before you eat and drink after that. And then that silver absorbs and impregnates into the skin as well. So silver, again, kills all the bad, not the good bacteria. But what it does is it actually impregnates, and it sits there for about 7 to 8 hours. And it still kills all the bad that still tries to grow back. It destroys it while protecting the good. So it really gives good bacteria an unfair advantage, and it helps you actually just develop a really healthy mouth biome. And that keeps your breath very fresh for a very long time too. So our toothpaste, you'll notice that it's like 7 to 8 hours basically that you'll feel that freshness from one brush. Even when you go to bed at night, when you brush your teeth, you don't wake up with morning breath. It actually is still pretty fresh because of that too. So that's a big point of it there too. It's, gives you that longer feel of that freshness there. So,
Which is just it's incredible because to think about even bad breath, or sometimes that, I can tell sometimes you're around somebody, and I've learned to pick up on the sense of what it smells like, but when they've got bad gut bacteria, because there's a particular
yeah,
smell of their breath. It's like, it doesn't matter how many times you
right.
brush your teeth. It's like, oh, there's bacteria that's down below that's really off. And so you look at, again, bad breath, and like the solution for bad breath is, of course, it's all the gum and all the stuff that's got, sucralose and artificial sweeteners in it. And it's like, oh,
Aspartame,
here's your,
good stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Here's your
Aspartame. It's like,
cure
oh,
for that.
here's your other poison, right? Because our fluoride, toothpaste is not working, as it should, and it's poisoning you as well. So here's a little, chewable poison tablet to put in, so you've got fresh breath. And it's just crazy. And this is what's, as I mentioned in
Yeah.
the beginning, it's just fascinating that you look at all these industries, and it's like, there's so much that's off. Maybe we can collaborate and we can introduce a silver chewing gum, right? Here's your like
We're
maybe
actually
that's
working on one.
oh there you go.
We actually are. That's kind of one that we got on the thing to work on because I mean odors are caused by bacteria. Again, silver kills all the bacteria that causes odors. And if you're swallowing, again, that helps develop the gut as well. So it's kind of a two-part. And again, our mouth bacteria does feed our gut. So if you're really getting that healthy stuff anyway, you're actually curing both of those issues. So I mean, our toothpaste does eliminate that pretty quick. Even people that got like, um, it's thrush, which is like the white tongue. People, they get that white film on their tongue. That's actually fungus. It's not bacteria. And most of the stuff, even antibiotics and stuff like that, don't kill fungus. So a lot of times it perpetuates the problem and makes it worse. Alcohols and things like that, this all perpetuates those issues as well because it'll kill all the bacteria, but not the fungus, and then that allows the bad stuff to grow back faster and then kind of help develop the fungus as well. So that is all real bad. After the first or second brush, your tongue will go pink again. So, and that's hard to get
Wow.
rid of. A lot of people can't get rid of that. You will not have that anymore if you brush with a toothpaste. So it completely takes that away immediately. And we've had a lot of feedback. It's like amazing. They got a pink tongue again, and
Wow.
their
So
mouth
you
just
can
feels
throw away your
fresher.
tongue scraper.
Yeah, we were actually going to do a tongue scraper, but I really kind of was like, well, we don't really need it because, yeah, I mean, it just does it for you. And I mean, you could brush your tongue, which I do too, but, the scraping, I just don't really feel the need to put one out there because it just creates that healthy tongue anyway. It really, really helps because that silver just destroys all that bad stuff in there. So, and then
Incredible.
we do use we go the silver obviously. The other thing we use is ozone, so we're real big into ozone is amazing for us. As a matter of fact, your like biological dentists are doing what they call ozone irrigation on a tooth that needs a root canal, and they're actually able to reverse it. Ozone reverses tooth decay, which is pretty amazing. And then if they add in silver, actually silver will help bring back the tooth or to help rebuild it. So we already have silver in our mouth rinse and in our toothpaste. So ozone was kind of a next step in there. So we use two forms of ozone in our system. It's optional. Obviously, you can buy it. We have ozone generators because ozone is actually almost as cool as silver. It's really amazing stuff. It's three oxygen molecules bound together with electricity. Lightning makes it in nature naturally. And when you get your clothes out of your dryer, when you pull the clothes apart, you get that sparky and you smell that. That's ozone. So it's a gas, but it's actually one of the most sterile products known to man. It is 10 times more powerful than bleach, but it is non-toxic to our bodies. But it doesn't last very long, so it dissipates out pretty quick, depending on how you're making it. So when you do it in water, we actually have ozone generators, if you can see that. These are real nice because it actually generates ozone, so you can make that right away. You can
Is that
rinse
this
with
right here?
that. Yep, that's that. And so ozone actually destroys everything. It's like a napalm. Like I said, 10 times more powerful than bleach. So imagine that just killing everything. But then what happens is that it's very unstable, so it falls apart. But it falls apart, just returns back into oxygen, and a lot of it. So we have all this excess oxygen, which oxygen actually heals our body, our cells, tissues, organs, everything. It's super beneficial. So as you're swishing, you get the destroying and the ozonating. So it really is beneficial for our mouth. It really helps a lot of things. So if you're using that, we rinse with that. Actually, I put the silver in there and then kind of rinse with both and then either swallow or spit it out. But then you drink the rest. If you drink ozone, it permeates the blood very quickly. In our blood system, it destroys free radicals, bacteria, germs, viruses, and all that stuff. And then it oxygenates. So we get all this excess oxygen in our blood, which is really amazing for us. It actually heals our cells, our tissues, organs. It actually reduces inflammation in our body. It heals, passes blood-brain. It increases cognitive function. We're doing a lot of testing with Alzheimer and dementia patients because of the cognitive increase you get with it. So it's super beneficial. It even kills cancer cells, or what it does, it actually melts the outer case of cancer, which is its protective coating. It dissolves it, and then it forms oxygen, and oxygen kills cancer. It's immediate. So it actually destroys cancer. They're doing a lot of research with that as well. Of course, they do injectable ozones when they're doing that kind of stuff. But with our bottles, if you're drinking it we recommend twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. Kind of works well with the brushing system. You're rinsing and then drinking it, and you're a constant flow of oxygen every day. If you're getting that actually will help a lot of things. So it's not as effective as doing an injection with it, but if you're doing it all the time, it kind of builds up in our body and keeps us healthier. Um, but you only want to do it a couple times a day because it's there's not really a nutritional value. It's mostly a therapeutic. So it's not a replacement for water. So our bottle actually doubles as a hydrogen generator. So you can also get the hydrogen side of it, which is amazing for us as well. So you do the ozone twice a day, and then the hydrogen the rest of the day. You drink that all day, every day, as much as you want to. That's super beneficial for us. I mean, H2O, the H is hydrogen. That's literally what hydrates our body. Our cells just absorb all the hydrogen out of the water when we drink it. It's actually hard for our bodies to do it because it's part of the water. The bottle puts millions of free molecules of hydrogen in there, which super hydrates our body. Our cells absorb it like a sponge. It doesn't have to work as hard. So it really gives us that excess hydration, but it also deoxidizes our cells. It heals, it's actually what fuels our cells. So it gives us energy. So that actually energizes us, gives you kind of a boost, like almost a caffeine high. But it's just really healthy for you. So you do the hydrogen all day, you do the ozone a couple times a day. So that's kind of our program if you're using it. But we do great with the water. I mean, it doesn't filter the water. So you want to make sure that I always recommend distilled water. We talked a little bit about that. That's always the better one. And then that extra hydration, it's going to make whatever water you put in there better, but I recommend, the distilled to start with. So that's another caveat to it. And then we also put it in oil too. So we have the ozonated oil, perio swish. This stuff is really amazing. So like periodontal disease, which is incurable in modern dentistry, they just give you antibiotics to actually, for the rest of your life, basically, because below gum, that's that's the regimen for it. So we've actually reversed periodontal disease within about 3 to 4 months of regular use of that. This stuff is amazing. It's an oil pulling agent. A lot of people pull with coconut oil, which is actually really good for your gums and everything. It's really, especially talked a little bit about flossing. I mean, a lot of people don't. It's not a replacement for floss, but it definitely, step levels up that because you're pulling that and it's getting in between and you're getting a lot of that bacteria out of there. Well, ours version of coconut oil, we do use coconut in there, but we use like 7 essential oils. We use frankincense, clove, wormwood, white thyme, black seed oil, sesame, pheromone 5, ATP, copper 1, niacin, and then we ozonate the formula. So that ozone is amazing. It's very powerful. But with those extra benefits in there, it actually does an amazing job of reversing periodontal, destroying gingivitis, keeping our mouth super healthy, just as a whole. So it's really, really strong. Takes away mouth pain within about 30 seconds. So you kind of just do about 3 to 4 pumps in your mouth. You swish it around for about 2 minutes. You can swallow or spit. Swallowing gives you some extra benefits, but some people don't want to. That's fine. You can spit it out too. But what it does for our oral biome is amazing. It really helps develop a healthy mouth biome preventatively and proactively. It will actually help heal in a lot of cases as well. Really good for gum issues. You want to use it like about 3 to 4 times a week is about all you need. If you're using it, if you have an issue, you want to use it every day until it goes away. It'll take out infections very, very quickly, including below gum line, which a lot of times we don't even know we have. So it really helps destroy that stuff, which again, that seeps into our body, causes other problems. That'll keep you healthy, as well as with that. So that's the 2 ways that we do the ozone. And then we do the UVs for the toothbrush. So, because we just talked about how bad our toothbrush is, these actually UV light there, that actually pop your toothbrush in there. There you go, the UV. That actually destroys all the bacteria on there so that you get a nice, healthy, bacteria-free toothbrush at the, when you're finished with it there. So that's a really nice thing. And it's great because it's portable too, so you can kind of take it with you, when you're traveling and everything too. But keeping that toothbrush bacteria free is a really big part of it that kind of helps keep us healthier as well. So
Gosh, it's a pretty complete system. So,
we try.
it's great. It's great. So the URL is freshmouth.com. I'll put that in the description. They'll get free shipping if they go through that. And it's also, I mean, what I love about this and what I love about the opportunity that I have with the platform, the reach I have, is that I can help people like you that are growing these businesses that are the anti big evil system, right? And I feel like I get to play a part in that, because if you grow this into a massive business, and then all of a sudden Colgate has to then start putting silver in their stuff and pull fluoride out of it, then that's how you force the change, right? Is that you
Right.
do it and you educate enough people that these people that are coming. It's like Jeff Adams. We did the show with him, and I think he had, I think, like close to 700 orders come in after the show we did.
Oh,
It
wow.
actually, it broke a few of his systems, and he had to like it was actually
Really?
like it was really good. Actually, I was talking to him, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "This is great," right? But this is what we want, is that I want to have the kind of patriot, faith based entrepreneurs become more successful in this society, because it's taking money and resources away from this evil system that's kind of hell bent
Right.
on getting rid of us, which um, is not good.
Pretty much. But after they drain us of all our cash,
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
important thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Larry, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for obviously giving me your time today, but thank you for doing what you're doing. And not being the person that's going to say, you know what, I'll take that money. We'll put a little bit of fluoride then there to appease the system. But again, this is what's happening, is that
Yeah.
you take the right path, you take the moral path, and let God handle the rest. And
Right.
that's it. So yeah, thank you for doing what you're doing, and again, thanks for giving us your time today.
I appreciate your platform, what you do. I mean, it wasn't for people like you getting the word out and helping this movement happen, it just wouldn't, because definitely not going to get on CNN or anything. They ain't going to put me out there. So not that I watch anything, but so yeah, I mean, all the that's another thing that's kind of changed, I think, too, is the media's kind of flipped, kind of we are the media now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, nobody tunes into that stuff. I mean, nobody listens to it anymore. So it's just yeah, they're just trying to push the wrong message. We all know that. So I appreciate what you guys do, so for sure, because that's what's making the difference and making the change happen. So
Oh,
thank you for that.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you again for coming on, and take care, and God bless. Numbers don't lie. The impact that Balance of Nature makes every single day is astounding. You can see the numbers for yourself at their website, balanceofnature.com. So, listen to these stats concerning Balance of Nature's worldwide success. More than 1,000 success stories are reported each month, hundreds of thousands of customers worldwide, millions of orders delivered each year, and billions, yes, billions of fruits and veggie supplements consumed by people who've decided to start living better. There's only one number missing. That's you. Do what I did and add yourself to these numbers. Start taking Balance of Nature's whole food supplements, like so many others around the world. Here's another number that should get your attention: 35%. Use my discount code SETH to get 35% off, plus free shipping and their money back guarantee. You must use my discount code SETH. So call them at 800-2468-751 and use the discount code SETH, or order online at balanceofnature.com. Use discount code SETH to get 35% off plus